So you want to get into real estate. You've seen the flashy cars, the big commission checks some people are getting, or maybe you've seen too many reruns of Selling Sunset on Netflix. Am I right? Well, the truth is, the industry isn't for everyone, and many people battle to make it through their first year. But if you know what you're doing, it can be a game changer for your income and for your career. So stick with me, and I'll show you 3 things you need to know before stepping into the industry. Hi, my name is Garreth, and I'm the sales and rentals manager for a national real estate brand in South Africa. I've over 12 years of experience in the industry and have grown in my career from an estate agent's assistant all the way up into a real estate leadership role. Stick with me, and I'll show you the tips and secrets that it takes to become one of the most successful real estate agents in your company, in your neighborhood, or maybe even the country. Point number 1, you do not need to have a university degree, but you do need to have the right qualification. Fact, you do not necessarily need to have a university degree to get into the industry, but there is a process you need to follow. You need to register as an intern with the PPRA, which is the Property Practitioners Regulatory Authority. You need to complete that 1 year of internship, compile a logbook detailing all your experience in that year. You need to register for and complete the NQF4 qualification, which is a certificate, which can be done after your internship year. And once you've passed that course and been found competent by the services CETA, you can then write the PDE4 board exam. And hey presto, you're a qualified real estate agent. But you may be asking, why? I thought I could just get in, get a job, and get going. You can, but you still need to follow that process. And the reason for this is that the real estate industry in South Africa is heavily regulated. Because of instances in other countries and maybe past practices by previous real estate agents, it is an industry which can become vulnerable to fraud. As such, you need to have the right training and the right certification in place in order to transact and act as a property practitioner in South Africa. I actually remember the first time I interviewed for a position in real estate. Actually, I was interviewing for 3 positions. And funny story, they were all 3 different career trajectories. The first one was external sales for a solar company. And we're talking 12, 13 years ago, right? For a solar company. I thought, that's a waste of time. The second was to be interviewed for short-term life insurance policy sales, short-term insurance, all of that. It didn't interest me at all. And then the third was for a real estate agent's assistant. And the estate agency was a very prominent estate agency, small and boutique, but prominent in the Parks suburbs of Johannesburg. So 2 of the most successful agents took me on. They put me through the internship process while I was their assistant. They let me do the NQF4 and all the rest of it. And I must have been 3 years with them. And I just spent those 3 years learning. I learned everything. The foundational years of my career were learned under these 2 guys. And I'll tell you what, the experience was invaluable. But the point I'm drawing here is that when I interviewed for the job and they told me I'd got it, I thought, oh, hey, that's it. I can do this job for 2-3 months and then I can ask them if I can become an agent. No, when I started, I soon was disappointed to realize that I have to go through an internship process. And, being a youngster, you think, jeepers, it's so much time wasted. But actually the year, it goes by so quickly. So while I was acting as the estate agent's assistant, I got very lucky with that role, by the way. I ended up doing my internship logbook, NQF4 and my PDE4, and then became a full status estate agent. And if you're worried and you want to click off right now, please stick around. In the description, I'm going to leave a link to another video that I'm going to do for you guys, just showing you how to go about checking out what education requirements are and what you can do to get your foot in the door. Point number 2, you need to be financially prepared before you start on this journey. In South Africa, estate agents earn on a commission basis only. That means that if you don't do deals, you don't get paid. This is the reason why many estate agents actually don't make it through their first year in real estate. They highly overestimate their skill set and highly underestimate the difficulty of the industry. And agent burnout is such a real thing. I've seen so many agents come and go. They just haven't had the financial means to carry themselves through. And it's such a pity because so many of them were just so close to landing their first deal that would have changed their lives forever. It reminds me of that story of 2 miners that are digging for diamonds. They're busy tunneling in the side of a mountain. And one of them quits. And as he leaves, the other one has just kept going, and the other one found a diamond. The other guy walked away. So the first one went back into his tunnel and continued digging. And when he dug through, it was one smash of his pickaxe, and he found a whole host of diamonds. So the moral here that I remember, it sticks with me, and I don't think I got the premise correct, but I like the way I said it. If the second guy hadn't quit and walked away, then he would have done a lot better than the first guy. But because he walked away, the first guy got lucky on his try and in the tunnel of the other guy. Fact of the matter is, you just need to be prepared when coming into the industry, and on average it takes between 6 and 12 months before new agents are actually ready to do their first deal. That's the reality. There's a bit of training, there's a little bit of a school of hard knocks, a little bit of a rite of passage that most agents take within the first 6 months. And that is where they learn the nuts and bolts of the business. And I think it takes about 6 months before they kind of get into that routine, get a little bit more comfortable with what is required of them. And between months 6 and 12 is when they start actually doing deals. So guys, you need to be financially prepared to carry yourself with no income for between 6 and 12 months. So make sure you have access to a line of credit. Maybe you can sell your house. Maybe you can extend access a facility on the bond on your home. Maybe you've saved up a year's worth of expenses, and maybe another strategy is to cut back on your lifestyle as you build yourself in this career. There's many ways to do it, but just make sure that in your personal situation, you're prepared for the hard journey ahead. Point number 3, you need to learn how to generate your own business. The fact of the matter is, as an estate agent, you are an independent contractor for the agency you represent. That means that the agency will give you a level of support which is detailed in the contract you sign with them. Every agency is different to what they offer and what they don't offer. But an agency will only offer you a certain amount of support. The rest, you have to do yourself. I'm going to show you something. Okay, see that? It's a couple of sweeties in a glass. All right, I'm going to empty them again. If while trying to generate business, all you do is cold call, think of that sweetie as your efforts. Cold call. How are you going to fill this jar of business with just cold calling? You're not. So activities you need to be involved in is cold calling, networking events, social media advertising, doing pamphlet drops in your area, being involved in community projects, maybe at a local church or at a school, telling your friends and family and close acquaintances about what you do, following up with all the people you've dealt with or spoken to in the past few months. Any one of those other sweeties that have engaged with you since you started your journey, the most important was that last sweetie that I put in there. Follow up is the name of the game. As a newbie in the industry, an agency will not hand you leads. They want to know that you can carry yourself mentally, emotionally, and intellectually in a conversation because you are representing their brand. All right? So that is why in the very beginning it is so tough. You need to do all the hard work to get the business in, and maybe after 1 or 2 or even 3 deals, you've proven yourself capable and competent, and your clients rave about you. The agency will then be a little bit more amenable to sharing the leads with you and whatnot. And you might think that that's harsh. The reality is that they've invested so much in their reputation and in their systems and in their policies that they can't just risk it all for an inexperienced and undereducated real estate agent to go out there and cause a lot of havoc. It's just, if you ran your own business, you'd have it the same way. So call it a rite of passage. But what do you do then? You have to learn, and you have to learn very quickly, and you need to treat your role as an estate agent as your own personal business. That means that it is your job to find willing sellers, to find willing buyers, and to close your own deals. Okay, so let's recap. You don't need a degree, but you do need the right qualifications. Number 2, you need to be financially prepared for the drought and the dry season that you're going to have within your first year. And point number 3, you need to be responsible for generating your own business. Nobody's coming to rescue you. It lies squarely on your shoulders. If you're aware of these 3 things and you are able to put together a strategy and kind of deal with all 3 of these things, you're already miles ahead of any of the other new interns or new agents in the industry. Now, if you found this helpful, please can you do me a favor? Please can you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try and do a lot more of these to add whatever value you guys need to build very strong foundational careers. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I definitely look and attend to all my comments, and I'll give you whatever advice I can. And yeah, that would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, check the description down below for that link I told you about that will take you to the PPRA's website and any other additional content that might be there that might help you on your journey into real estate. Guys, that's all for me today. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.